What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where I'm going to show you how to clear floor 100 in literally seconds. That includes all the ads in the beginning room and using only 2 bullets to clear the hunters in the final room, and this is going to be on legendary. I kid you not. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So first of all, big shout out to my main man Stella88X. I will link his channel down below in the description. Alpine in my Discord sent me some of his Twitch clips where he was doing this. I don't know what gear he was using. I've just best guessed after looking at the clips what he was doing, but what I've done has worked, so I guess I was along the right lines. But be sure to go and check him out and show him some love next time he is live. Right, first of all, let's get into the footage. Okay, so first up, this was me doing it in heroic because I didn't actually think I was be able to do it in legendary. I thought, so I'll test it in legendary first. You are going to need a friend or a partner to be able to do this first bit so quickly, but I'll explain how to do it in just a second. I just want to show you the footage first. So basically, you're going to run out. We're going to look at one door only. We're going to oxy it. We will get overcharged. There's the overcharge. The player will leave, so we're by ourselves. And then just continue looking at this door, and it will kind of force all the enemies to spawn here. And as you can see, they're dead in seconds. Now we're going to change the build that we're going to be using, but don't worry, I will go through that in more detail at the end of the video as well, rather than you having to keep stopping and starting and looking at this. And what we'll do, actually, we're just going to flick the footage on a bit because we don't want to waste any time. And we're going to get to the final room. Hopefully this is one where I do it in 2 shots. I did retake a few times because I missed the shots, and I just, I can't say, oh, 2 shots if you don't actually hit both shots. But I guess we'll see. There's one. Yeah, this is the one where I hit both. We're not bothered about healing. We're confident in our headshotting abilities. And there is 2. Didn't get myself a Tempest, but that is heroic there. And I thought, right, okay, next step, let's try legendary. Okay, so here we are on legendary, and I'm going to show you both sections just to show you that it's possible to do the same strategy on both sections. So again, we oxy the door, and I'll kind of tell you what we're doing here at this moment. So as you can see, I'm in a group with my mule, so you'll need somebody who has the floor 100 checkpoint. Doing it with a mule just makes it really, really easy. You could duo this if you were, but the problem is you need the delay. So this is why this works. So because there's only one person and they're looking at this door, it forces all the spawns to come from this door here. So if you have got a team member with you that's going to kind of duo this and not leave the party, when they run in to activate the spawn, because what you want to go is run in and kind of oxy the door, you see. That's why this works so well. So the other person has to stay outside while you fire your 5 oxys. And then basically if they leave the party, what you've seen already will happen. The oxys will get overcharged and all the rest of it, and it's all good. But if they don't, when they come in, they must only look at this door. It's very easy to look at the door at the back left or the door in the back right. They've got to be very careful with their camera angle when they come in, that they only look at this, and then get some oxys in themselves, because doing it with 2 needs more than one person's overcharged oxys. But if you've got a mule account like I have, for instance, you can just basically overcharge and then drop the party, and it will force them to spawn because you'll be by yourself. The second teammate runs in, if you're doing this in a duo, it will force the spawn, and at that point then you're just going to try and hold the door as much as you can until the teammate gets, and can obviously throw some oxys in as well. Just get them to overcharge before they come in. And then the video glitched, I don't know why. But as you can see now, you've got the overcharge, and that'll force the spawn. And then you can just carry on firing. Obviously, if you're in a team, the other person would just be running in now after they've overcharged, and therefore then be helping you oxy the door. But that's just a really easy way of doing it. If you're in a bigger group, what you can do is just get one person to never come in, and then the other 2 or 3 people can just camp one door. Again, all looking at one door, not looking at anywhere else. Make sure the person that's not entered the room does the same, and therefore then you can do the same thing. Always just look at one door, force the spawns. So here we are, we're in again. We got our first one. Almost thought about pulling the trigger there, but didn't. Luckily enough, he didn't get his turret in line of sight. But then he got just enough of his head there on legendary. And we got a Tempest that was damaged to health, unfortunately, to finish it with 2 shots. So let me talk over the strategy here. Let me just rewind it to when I ran in. So I'll go through the builds as well. Don't worry about that, but we'll just talk about strategy first. So when you get here, basically you're going to need advanced material. And that is the key to doing an absolute ton of damage and making this work. So open the doors, hit advanced material, because then that's going to give you the ammo. I had no spec ammo in my gun from swapping builds. So that'll give you infinite ammo, and it also gives you 50 odd seconds as well, so you've no need to worry. If for some reason it makes you reload twice, I don't know why, that's why I do it on the rundown rather than do it here. As you saw with the heroic run, it made me basically have to move and wait for the second reload. But then basically always kind of crouch down here. That one there will always kind of crouch down here, allowing you to get a very easy one shot right off the rip. If you can get this one here, because he will throw a skill out, if you're quick enough to get him at that point there, then GG's. I wasn't. But then just wait for them to maneuver. Don't try and shoot. Just wait for them to maneuver. And then no matter where they go, they tend to peek, and you just got to get the cross searchers there, which obviously is going to be easier on PC than what it is on console. But then you can get the shot. Otherwise, you do risk basically them standing up. But if you get the shot because you feel safe when they're standing up, that's easy as well. Once you clear it on legendary, it will flip back to your map here, and we'll go to 100 heroic, as you can see. But as you can see there, we've got the full stars, all 3 stars, symbolizing that it is indeed legendary. All right, so let's go through the builds. I did try with turmoils. You don't do enough damage to kill both of them in one shot. Not with how I set up anyway. It would be interesting if we could actually get some more damage into the build and do that. But it was quite a way off. I think it got into about 40-50% of his life with one shot. So yeah, that would be difficult. But this is what you need. Obviously, you're going to need the TAC 50 specialization, and mine is amped up to level 30 as well. But I don't think you need to be at level 30, but I do think you probably need to be at least 15 to be able to get enough damage. There is one thing you can do, though, to help you that is better than this. You could run a Walker Harris holster instead of this, because you could have headshot damage on it, and you get 5% extra weapon damage there, which will contribute towards your TAC 50. So if you are short on expertise, put a Walker Harris in here. This is just because this was just a build I already had, and I just adapted it by changing the chest piece to make this work. The chest piece, you're going to need a headshot sacrifice. It can be weapon handling or crit chance here, it doesn't matter, with headshot damage here, and perfect glass cannon. Then you're going to need the punch drunk. I've got pistol damage here. I mean, that doesn't really make any difference, but we take in the 20% headshot damage, weapon handling, and headshot damage here for the rest of the build. Then I've got the gift. Headshot damage, weapon handling, and perfect vigilance. Then I've got contractor's gloves with headshot damage. And Foxy's prayers with headshot damage. Now again, you could probably change these pieces around. So having the gift really doesn't mean that much difference. You could have a HG in here instead, if you're lucky enough to have one, because that will give you 13% headshot damage. So as long as you're not sacrificing this weapon damage because you need the red, you could put this on, and this would be a better pick than what I've already got on. So this now would do more damage than what I already showed you, because we don't need the 2-piece Petrov, because we don't need the critical hit chance. So this would be a better pick, but this is very much a unicorn piece to try and get. But if you can get one with headshot, change this to weapon damage, get vigilance on it, then you're going to go even higher in damage than what I did. And like I said, a Walker Harris holster that I don't have here. But I'll see if I've got one in my stash. Maybe I've not. It might be on a mule. I don't often use it. Oh, yeah, I've got one. With headshot as well. Oh, so I could have just used that for even bigger flex numbers. But it doesn't matter. We'll put it on and then you can see the final version. But you know you don't have to be all the way here. This is what I'm saying. You might have all these pieces, but then you might only be 10% TAC 50, and then you'll actually be okay as well. So this is what I'm saying. You don't have to be min maxed for this to work. But at this point now, we can take a look at the stats with the TAC 50. Here it is. So you can see we're at 346% headshot damage, and it's at just over 3 million weapon damage. So that's kind of what you're aiming for. We know this is min-maxed, but we know two of the pieces I didn't even have on at the time. So we're actually giving ourselves lower damage. But that is what I would run with if I was going to do it. And now I'm going to save that loadout because I didn't even realize I had all the pieces. Happy days. All right, and then we'll talk about the Oxy build. Now, usually with the CC build, I just kind of do this. It's really easy to do this because the other pieces are really easy to go together. But what we wanted to do, especially because we're in Legendary, was maximize our skill damage. So this is what I went with. And again, this isn't perfect. I've got a red in here, which I didn't really want to have, but I just not got the piece. I could have swore I had one of these in the past, but I didn't have one. And obviously the mask and the gloves are interchangeable with the holster. So if you want to put a wyvern here instead, you can do. So let's start with the Empress pieces. So that gives us skill damage and skill efficiency. And skill efficiency in itself gives us an extra 8% skill damage. And basically you want skill haste and skill damage absolutely everywhere. A couple of skill duration mods are nice as well. I would have 3 on, but I've lost one for some reason. But again, I was putting this together in a bit of a rush just to try it out and definitely wasn't expecting this much success. The backpack is an Empress International with skill haste, skill damage, skill duration and tech support, which is great because obviously you saw how quick we were killing at the doors, meaning that we had the 25% extra skill damage on really quickly. Then we've got the gloves with skill haste and skill damage. Then we're going to use Foxy's Prayers with skill damage because damage to target out of cover affects our Oxy. Then we've got a Wyvern holster, skill damage, skill haste and skill damage. And then the one piece that could be better is my Sacrifice. I could have skill haste here instead of skill damage. And I probably would just put an extra skill duration in here rather than skill haste. But the perfect glass cannon gives an absolute ton of damage as well. Meaning, because as you can see here, is amplified. All damage you deal is amplified by 30%. So that includes our Oxy. Obviously then at that point you're going to want to put Oxy on. I've got the wrong mods in here by the looks of it. Burn strength, absolutely not. So we should have gone with damage. An extra ammo would do nice. Or again, you could go duration depending on what your mods are. But again, look, obviously I am expertise 30, but I was undercooked by at least 5%. And I think as long as you're at 15-20% again, you'll do absolutely fine. Then we're going to take the Artificer Hive. I've got stim efficiency, extra stim charges and health on for the mods. And then we've got Technician up here as well, meaning technically you could actually drop one of these. This could be a red core attribute here if you wanted to, because you're going to get one core attribute from here. And I'm actually surprised how undercooked I was and how much more cooking we could have done with the build to make it more powerful. But yeah, again, you've probably got a lot of expertise you can drop here, at least 15%, and still be okay as long as you put the build together. And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Make sure you check Stella out. What an awesome strat this is. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. Thank you to everybody that has hit the join button recently, going above and beyond. I really appreciate it. I'm running out of patch codes, but I will put a few down below in the comment section for you to check out. Hopefully you can grab one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.